go ahead and connect this together. So we're going to connect this will be my main positive here because I have that big lug on it, and this will be my main negative here. So positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Obviously, you can see that. So what I'm going to do is connect these cells in series. So this will be 1, and this will be 2. So you can get this 3.2 volt cell, and then we'll add this one for another 3.2, which is 6.4, and then these two obviously will be added together, so 6.4, so 12.8, and that's nominal. When they're fully charged up, it's typically about, well, I did get 14 out of this because I think it's just one cell. It's just so high. I only expected about 13.7 or 13.8 fully charged up, but I did get slightly over 14. And we'll show that with a meter when we get this all put together. So, because these don't go through, the holes are small, I'm going to go ahead and put these on first and put these through, because when you screw these all the way in, they don't actually go all the way to the bottom of the cell anyways. So, see that there's still a bunch of threads left over. So I'll put these on first and go ahead and put the lugs. And the spacing has to be just right for these. It did, when they designed the plates that came with the batteries itself, they made it so you did have a little space in between the batteries, and that's for airflow. They can get hot when discharging at high rate. They typically don't get that hot for normal discharge for batteries and stuff, unless you're really running, you know, some high temperature or high amperage stuff. They don't get that hot. Alright, go ahead and put these lugs back in. There's that. And then the last one up here. Okay, so there's that, and those are all pretty good. I'm just going to give these a little bit of a crank to make sure that they're all the way at the bottom here and fully tightened up. Basically, I'm just tightening to make sure that I cannot possibly spin them with my fingers at all. Just be careful with these, because that aluminum that's connected into is a little on the soft side. Definitely would not over torque that, or you will have to tap it out like I did with a larger size. You wanted to stay with the same size, you could probably find a helicoil that would work for that, but why not just, if you got to tap it out, just use the larger size, I would think, because they're just a little small. I don't know why. This is an issue with a lot of them that I've found. It seems like if you're having a high discharge rate, you would want larger terminals on your batteries. So anyway, so there's those. And then let's go ahead and get the plug for the BMS, because that has to be all connected up as well. Alright, those are all tight. this one down also. And last one, the positive, remember, it's not, it goes through after everything, so I won't put that one on until the very end when we get the positive connected up. Now essentially got a high amperage 12 volt battery here. These are not super tightly connected, but just be careful. Don't cross any leads. This will just about fit across there. You definitely don't want to short anything out on that. So just be careful with that. It can be very dangerous, like melting metal, sparks, stuff in your eyes. It could be bad. So anyways, so we got this basically built, and now I'm going to go ahead and start connecting up the BMS leads. So there's one black wire and one red wire in this. Oftentimes they're, so 5 wires total, so the one black wire, 3 whites and a red. So this is the main battery negative right here, which I talked about earlier, which will be there. And then the very first one will be that same cell, because that's cell number 1, and that will be the main battery positive. See the red for the positive. And then the third wire will be the second cell. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, geez. 5 wires, 4 cells. So the third cell, positive right there, and then the red wire would actually be on that last cell. Okay, so that's all on, but they're not bolted down. So on these, I don't really have anything else to connect up, so I can actually go ahead and tighten these up. Now, because of the space of these, I did have to get a stack of washers to get these really tight. Oh yeah, I'm doing it around here. So there's a flat side of these and a curved side. You definitely want the flat side down on these, so just to make sure I didn't do that, which I actually accidentally did, even though I know better. So these are getting pretty tight here. And this, I did the plate first, and then I did the positive from the BMS for this second battery, and then I put the washers on top, and then the nuts. So that's the way you should do it. Finish this up. Good, just make sure that these are aligned properly. Now they will move around a little bit too, so like especially when this is loose. So when you tighten it, you kind of want to just hold it still a little bit. Careful with this wrench too, because I have a little adjustable wrench and it will definitely reach across, so make sure you don't touch any of the other leads. Be very careful. Like I said, this is a high amperage battery now. It's essentially put together as a battery already, but it doesn't have the BMS installed, and like I said at the beginning, it's really important to have that BMS installed. Now, you can, I can, anybody can for the most part, over torque these and just pull that through. You basically have to have a feel for it. Do not pull those up, you will strip out. You can just pull that right straight up out. It'll just pull up. You can just keep on screwing this down, and it will, the larger threads, it's much stronger than those lower threads, will just pull that right straight up and break those threads that are down inside the terminal itself. So make sure you do not do that. It's kind of a feel thing, like I was saying. Alright, so I'm going to take my voltmeter. We should have our about 14 volts. I don't know if it's lost any sitting. It's been a while since I charged it up. So like I said, positive and negative. Positive, negative, 13.78. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this and pick this up so you can see it. 13.79 volts right there. Should be able to see that. All right. So that's all set. Now for the BMS. So do not plug this in until you have everything all connected like you think it's supposed to be. You could potentially damage your BMS. So I recommend having electrical tape as well. I mean, I have multiple colors of electrical tape. I have red and black, of course, and I have this Kapton. I really recommend getting some of this if you're going to do something like this. It's fairly cheap. I think it's just like $3 or $4 for a roll, and I've used quite a bit of it. It's at least half gone or more. And I really recommend this as a Kapton's actually a brand name. Again, nothing is sponsored in this video. But Kapton is a brand name, but is basically a high temperature electrical tape. It's pretty thin. It's got a good adhesive. It is sticky, but it's also designed to come off as well, which is shocking because some tapes, after they've been there a long time, and I've taken apart electrical equipment that have this yellow stuff on it, but I really like using this. It looks professional when you do something with it, because that's what you'll see with manufactured items. So I really recommend getting this type of high temperature tape. Like I said, brand name Kapton, and I believe that this is actually Kapton tape that I got from, I think, Amazon. I'll put a link so you guys can find it easily without too much research yourself. And then all the other bunch. They have lots of different sizes. It comes into really wide and much thinner, like 1/8 of an inch wide. So you can do all kinds of things. I know some people will even use it. It's a little bit expensive to do it for that. They'll use it for masking tape to do pinstriping and stuff like that. So I really recommend getting it if you're going to be doing any amount of this. But you can just use electrical tape. I have in the past also. It's good, but it's not high temperature. And so these things can get hot. They typically shouldn't, or hope they wouldn't. But regular electrical tape is not a high temperature tape. So